Please listen carefully.
The Howling was directed by Joe Dante. It was released in 1981, and it was screened at the 2018 Fantasia Film Festival. Every year, the festival chooses a director to whom they give out a Lifetime Achievement Award and celebrate his body of work by projecting some of his major films. And so I was lucky enough to catch a 35mm print of The Howling. The Howling stars Dee Wallace before she was the mom in every 80s movie. In this film, she is a reporter who's being stalked by some weirdo, and she is investigating that on live television. The channel has decided that under the guise of hard-hitting journalism, they're actually going to make a trashy piece where she is going to meet this weirdo, and she ends up in some back room in some creepy porn shop where she is attacked by said stalker, and the police intervene. They shoot and kill the perp, but obviously poor Dee Wallace is scarred, and her therapist suggests that she and her husband could go out to the countryside to a retreat where he has some sort of experimental therapy clinic out in the woods. And as it turns out, every single member of this community is a bloodthirsty werewolf, and havoc obviously ensues. The Howling is pure B-movie schlock, and I say that in the best possible way. It's made with love and care and irreverence and gallows humor and a real sense of directing and eye for horror. There's even a cameo in the movie by Roger Corman, with whom Joe Dante got his start, just in case you don't know exactly what kind of film you're getting into. There's a real childlike joy to the films of Joe Dante and to his satire, to the satire that he brings to his films, such as this, such as Gremlins 2, such as Small Soldiers. As an audience member, you never feel like you're being talked down to. Rather, Dante decides to fill the screen with a sort of childlike chaos and anarchy that is indicating to you that you're sort of in a live-action adult cartoon. I haven't seen all of Dante's films. I've seen sort of his greatest hits. This film, which I hadn't seen before, it exists in his filmography in an interesting way because I felt it sort of bridged that gap between classic American horror, classic American 70s B-movies, and Italian giallo for some reason. There's quite a few moments in the film that were evocative of the giallo genre, whether it be the way he lights the moisty forest with fog everywhere, or the sex scene ritual between the two werewolves felt straight out of something like Suspiria. And even Pino D'Annunzio's score, who's somebody who worked with the likes of Lucio Fulci or Ruggero Deodato or Dario Argento, but also did a lot of scores for De Palma, again, who's very Hitchcockian, and you sort of sense that gap between Italian cinema and classic American cinema. I'll just finish up by mentioning the special effects. Rick Baker, makeup artist extraordinaire, started out on the film and then left the production to go work on An American Werewolf in London. And he left the keys, if you will, to his young protege, who was a 21-year-old Rob Bottin, that most movie buffs will know from the guy behind all the special effects, most of the special effects in John Carpenter's The Thing. And you can definitely see in this film all the talent that Bottin has, and you can also definitely see the transformation effect as a sort of trial run for what he would masterfully perfect in 1982's The Thing. The transformation of Eddie Quist is really quite impressive and really a highlight of the movie in general. It was a great experience to discover this film for the first time on 35mm in a theater, in a Fantasia environment, but I can really say that I think even without those conditions, it's a thoroughly entertaining, fun, schlocky movie, and I can totally see why Steven Spielberg would see so much talent in young Joe Dante and go on to produce Gremlins in 1984. Thanks everyone for watching the video. Be sure to hit the like button if you like the review, and if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing for more videos about more movies. Until next time, see ya!